I said I float like a butterfly, I sting like a bee. I've been having conversations with a bunch of nobodies, and you could tell them what's the topic, they gon' talk about it.
Welcome!
Man, that's the fucking Ciroc.
What's up, everybody? You now tune in to the Hey Now podcast, a conversation with a bunch of nobody. It's your boy Kev. You want to introduce yourself down? So go ahead, introduce yourself. You know.
It's your boy Edgar.
Wait, you gotta introduce yourself.
The name gonna come out in the video.
Okay.
Niggas already know what I do when I do.
No. You had your chance, man. You had your chance.
You feel me? It is what it was.
Oh, man.
Jennings, beloved.
Shackhead.
Edit that out. Go ahead.
So yes, man. Episode 11 of the Hey Now podcast, man. We got a good friend of mine. You know, we go way back, way back. So he gonna come kick it with us, man. We're gonna talk about a few things, and then we're gonna get into the Edgar Sosa story a little bit. First off, you know, shout out to Fame NYC, shout out to Drew, you know, shout out to my man James. You know, we're gonna be having him tomorrow. Shout out to my man Pratt, you know, finally, you know, it's good to see you. You know, shout out to my man Will, appreciate you, brother. So first off, I kind of like wanted to start off the show. It's been kind of like a little, you know, bad energy going around, you know, New York, with a lot of crazy stuff. First off, I want to say, you know, rest in peace, you know, Junior, you know, young boy, that was in a tragic situation, you know, and it's just fucked up. I really don't have much to say because I'm still dealing with the fact that I just lost a student last week. So I'm really not going to talk too much about it, you know, because it's a touchy subject for me. But I'll just go down, you know. I know now you live in Florida, so I don't know if you've been able, you know, to kind of catch on what's been going on here. So maybe it's possible, you know, shed some light, you know, on the situation.
No, like you said, bro, it's a tragic situation that happened to a kid that he didn't deserve, you know, and it's just sad that this is the society that we live in today, and I'm just happy for the support that he's getting, the support that his family is getting. You know, obviously it's not going to bring him back, but just to see our community gather themselves and show their love and appreciation to their family is just something amazing, man.
Yeah. As the only parent on here right now, I don't. As the only parent on here right now, I don't really want to talk about it, because I already know that every time his mom turns on the news, every time his sister turn on the news, every time his sister go outside, every time somebody in his family go outside, they gotta remember it every time. So I'm not even gonna make it a topic of mine to speak on that no more. Everybody knows how everybody feels about it, so I'm gonna just leave it right there.
Beloved?
Well, I got a lot of feelings about this situation. I spoke to Kev in depth about it throughout the week. I'm going to be respectful of his mom, of his sister, of the bereaved. I mean, everybody in this room has lost somebody close to them at one point in their life. And one thing that I find vivid in my mind, when someone dies the first week, everybody's coming over, everybody's bringing food, especially before the funeral. But the real grieving process starts after the funeral. What's next? How do we cope? How do we adjust to this new normal? So I would say to, the supporters, the community, whether it's local, whether it's nationwide, let's keep our eye on the situation. Let's continue to support the family, but also the taxpayers in New York City. We need to hold the Justice Department accountable and pay attention to the trial to make sure that the family gets the justice they deserve, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I agree with everybody. Only thing that I want to add is maybe shout out to DJ Scott LaRod Jr.'s and his situation that he has going on. I know everybody's seen the videos that's going on and everybody sees what's going on, but support that. This can't be a situation where it's just we grieve for this kid and then that's it. So let's continue, let's make something out of it. So many times Trayvon Martin, so many other kids, Mike Brown, so many other kids, and then we all grieve like he's saying, but right now we all see somebody trying to make a movement, and we see the videos there, so support the guy, follow him, and you yourself, speak out against these things. I know everybody feels the same way, and that's it. It was a tragic situation, but I think everybody in 2018 has a platform where they can use and they can reach out to people, and that's what we need to start doing. And that's just how that's what I'm gonna say about that.
That's one of the reasons why this platform was created. So we just gotta do better, and like Kirk Kelly said in the last episode, man, we really gotta preserve our youth and really take care of them. All right, so now we're gonna switch it up. Gonna lighten it up a little bit. We're gonna switch it up to the NBA. Recently we just got the awards was let out. I want James' opinion on this. Will's opinion on this. A few people. First of all, shout out to Kimber. Back to back. Got that award. James Harden got MVP over LeBron James.
Ooh.
In my opinion, if you check the stat box, stat for stat, LeBron James got it, and they gave it to James Harden. Now Kyrie recently came out and said, James Harden is the people's MVP.
I'm not part of the people's.
Wait, hold up. And LeBron James
MVP.
is the NBA MVP. So let me get you. So what are your thoughts on that? First of all, who you thought was MVP this year?
I thought LeBron James was MVP.
There we go.
And I think it's hard not to give someone an MVP when the other candidate that's in it, he's beating them in almost every statistical category. It's hard not to give that person the MVP, in my opinion, my humble opinion, because we're talking about two amazing players, two of the top talents of basketball in the world. I think the NBA has just gotten tired of LeBron. I wouldn't say tired, but they're like it's known and it's clear that LeBron
best
James
player.
is the best basketball player in the world. So they thinking, let's give the chance to somebody else. They kind of treating it like a charity case. Like, we know he's great, we know he's the best player in the world, but let's give somebody else a chance. And that's stuff you do in PAL programs.
Pee-wee.
That stuff you do in Super Biddy when you're dealing with kids. Oh, he wins all the time. Let this other kid get a chance. But when you're talking about some of the best basketball players in the world, and you're talking about an MVP award, we're talking about most valuable, the most important,
You do everything.
gotta give it to LeBron James.
Gabby, what's your take on that?
LeBron James is LeBron James, and LeBron James is going to be what LeBron James is going to be. And that's what the hell I got to say about that.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a quotable.
thank you.
Quote that.
Thank you,
Quote
Gabby.
that.
Thank you, Gabby. Beloved.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love. Go ahead.
This is not the first time we've
At
seen people be snubbed by not getting an MVP award, right? You look at Kobe, he's only won one MVP award. When Jordan was in the league, he should have been MVP
All the time.
pretty much every year.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Steve Nash has 2 MVP awards.
Whoa.
So there's no set criteria that the writers or the players need to follow in terms of who should be MVP. So to me, that's part of the problem. I think in the next collective bargaining agreement, that's something that should be addressed. But yeah, like when you hear the acronym MVP, most valuable, you take LeBron off the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, maybe they win 25 games.
They might be worse than the Knicks.
Maybe.
Hold on,
See?
time out.
No, we're going to
Time
go
out, yeah.
Go ahead.
Maybe they win 25 games. I'm being polite.
Oh, my fault, Chad.
You take James Harden off the Houston Rockets,
Still got Chris Paul.
you still have Chris Paul, they still may get the 8th seed.
They honest.
So it's very obvious, but this is not nothing new. People have been getting snubbed this, the entire existence
LeBron
of the
been getting
NBA.
hating on since hating started hating.
First of all,
Right. Shaq, go ahead. Your thoughts, before we move on? Before we move on?
Damn, listen. I agree with everything you're saying. Only thing, LeBron's numbers are better. He's a better athlete. He's a better player.
Doing more with less.
I mean, in a different position, James Harden is, for his position, he's the best player. But that's not the subject. I think we're forgetting the season that James Harden got snubbed over last year. And I think the NBA just kind of wanted to make that up to him. Now, if that's bad, if that's a bad thing, then maybe. But let's not act like James Harden didn't have.
No, he had a good season.
He had a great season last year, and we could be saying.
He had more though. You feel me? Like,
But I'm saying, I just feel like I get what Edgar's saying. Like, it's not it's not PAL, but the man had 2 back-to-back great seasons.
No, I totally.
And LeBron James too.
LeBron James.
But he got swept. You know what I'm saying?
But
in the finals.
my whole thing is, if you put James Harden or anybody else on the Cavs, I don't think they'll be able to take him to the finals. And I think that's what
First of all,
that's why I think when people fucked it up. You feel me? Like, it take a certain caliber type of player to get the type of players that he had on that team to make them like play to the level or just carry them. You feel me?
I agree.
That takes a lot. So that's why I think he should have got MVP, because I don't think if you put James Harden on the Cavs, put him in the East, I don't think he takes that team to the final.
35.
And I think if you put James Harden on a team in the East, maybe I think he go. I think.
So you telling me you put James Harden in the Cavs without LeBron James with that team, they go to the finals?
The finals? No. Nah, the finals?
No.
They
might
go to the finals?
No.
Nigga, you
No.
think that's
What you
a rock
mean?
hard.
No.
That's a rock hit.
No.
Nah.
What's next?
Nah. Come
That
on.
brown hit
Nah.
next.
And James Harden only plays one
First
side
of
of the
all,
court.
First of all, the only
He
way
doesn't even
that
try to play defense.
is LeBron James still on the East?
Shoot that bell.
Is LeBron James still on the East?
James Harden doesn't even try to play defense.
With that bell, man.
Come on.
So you give somebody 30, but you give up 40.
You got that?
You minus 5.
Racata, racata, y se me pega, voy a darle. Racata, racata, esta noche quiero hacerle. Racata, racata.
James Harden on the East is a beast. LeBron James on the West is a flop. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh my God.
LeBron James goes to the
my
West.
God.
That's the biggest mistake he ever made.
All right,
Let's go.
next topic. The next topic we're gonna go
Let's
into.
move on.
Before we go into, I'm skipping every topic and going right into Edgar Sosa story. Rookie of the year, because I had
Hold
a big
on,
debate.
I'm
upset.
Big up, what's Alexander Cortez?
Oh yeah. First of all, I apologize. Shout out to Alexandra Cortez. You know, the youngest lady in Congress. You know, she's gonna be the youngest lady in Congress in 2019.
28 years old.
You know, 28 years old. You know, she's from the Bronx. She's Puerto Rican. You know, so shout out to her. You know,
So we're giving a public endorsement.
I don't public endorsement. We showing love. That's what we do. We show love. That's what we do. We show love.
Okay.
Everything else, you know.
For now.
Okay, we'll vote for her. We'll vote
Free
for her.
love for
No,
now.
she already got it.
Oh, okay.
We own her. She
She's showing
won.
free love for now.
Shout out to my sister for putting me on yesterday, making me vote. I mean on Tuesday, whatever.
So now we gonna switch it up real quick.
Shout out to all my brothers from another mother.
Yeah, Gabby, you done? Rookie of the year. We got Ben Simmons. You know, he edged over Donovan Mitchell, which I think is bullshit. You hear me? Well, hold up, James. What you think? Who should have won Rookie of the Year?
Donovan Mitchell. I did this, man.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
What?
Ben's better.
Ben?
Ben's better.
Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons.
Like
You asked him the question.
So, in my opinion, I thought it was Donovan. You know, Donovan Mitchell. You know, shout outs to him. You know,
Why?
Why? One, because he's an actual rookie. Two, because he never practiced with any pros.
I'm over that.
Wait. Wait.
Took out fucking OKC.
Well, hold up. Two, he listen. Two, he actually he came in as a rookie, meaning he had no NBA experience. He had no vet to speak to him. He had no vet to guide him. He didn't get to see no NBA practice. He didn't see anything. I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about better. But let me finish my statement. You can't let me finish my argument. All right. My argument is he put up that work, bro. And he eliminated OKC, bro. And he eliminated OKC. OKC had Westbrook. OKC had Melo. OKC had Paul George. Who the fuck Utah had? No, Melo, nigga. I count Melo. Don't disrespect Melo. Who Utah had? Who Utah had?
We're not talking about Embiid.
Go ahead. You're not getting that belt. You ain't getting that.
First of all, I gotta say, shout out Louisville. We all know Donovan Mitchell went to Louisville.
Okay.
And it's hard for me to go
Against the grain.
Against the grain and against the family. Even if he didn't go to Louisville, I feel that he should have been Rookie of the Year. My reasons are because he's a true rookie. That's like comparing in college football a redshirt freshman to a true freshman. Now, Ben Simmons didn't
break
play.
that down for the people.
Okay.
They do it anyway, so don't.
No, hold on. Let him break it down for the people.
So redshirt is kind of like you're at the university, you're at all the practices, you're pretty much part of the team. You do everything with the team except suit up for the games.
Okay.
So that's what I would compare it to. And the reason why I say Donovan Mitchell is the Rookie of the Year is because although Ben Simmons didn't play last year, he still got an NBA paycheck. He was still working with NBA trainers. He was still watching NBA film. He was still working with some of the best in order to improve his game, even though he wasn't able to be on the floor.
You need to work on that jump shot. That's what you need.
Now, if we're talking about a single season, I say Donovan Mitchell had the better season, and also he didn't get that redshirt year. We're talking about a single season, their rookie season. I think Donovan Mitchell is better. Now, in the long run, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, who's going to be better? I think that remains to be seen. But for right now, for the 2017-2018 season, Donovan Mitchell was clearly better.
Shout out to Jason.
Gary, thoughts?
Hold on.
I like Jason Taylor, man. I just like that kid, man. That kid is real good, man. Like, you understand me? Like, he did his thing this year. He was like,
Forgot to mention.
he was basically one or two. You could debate either or. You know, Kyrie was hurt. The other guy.
I think
the
after
white man was hurt.
I think after Kyrie got hurt, I think people started noticing him more. I think
But-
That's a great
He
my
was
guy.
doing his thing.
working,
Yeah,
yo.
he was doing his thing before that. You feel me? I like Jason Tatum. You dig? I really like that guy.
Okay.
That
Jim,
guy is a thug.
beloved. I don't know about Thug, but he's a good player.
And when I say thug, I mean
On the court, Doug on the court.
a thug like with the ball, like he a bully, like not a real bully because bullying is trash, but a bully on the court, you know. You gotta bully people on the court. You dig? He like Melo, you know, bully. Like shout out to bully.
Booty. Go Jimmy. Shout out to Booty.
I would go with Donovan Mitchell.
Jason Tatum.
To piggyback off what Edgar had said, when you're exposed to an NBA lifestyle, NBA trainers, NBA coaching, NBA paycheck, I cannot give you the same credibility as somebody who's coming fresh out of college.
Louisville.
Mind you, Donovan Mitchell was dogging in the West. Everybody knows the West is a bloodbath. So, for those simple reasons, I would have gave it to Donovan Mitchell. But I'm gonna say this. I hope we don't get in trouble. I feel like the NBA is grooming Ben Simmons to be one of the next main faces of the NBA.
I see that.
So giving him Rookie of the Year is
Give
good
him
for
that
the,
recognition.
it's good for the storyline. You know, LeBron is in his 15th year. They're constantly doing these LeBron comparisons. You know, he's light-skinned from Australia. It's good for the international marketing.
That's what James likes.
Yeah, so they want to give him that look. So yeah, they gave Ben Simmons Rookie of the Year.
These skills got to be on point.
I agree. I agree with Jennings. You know, that's exactly why the NBA did it. Because I think Jason Tatum should have got it. But, you know, Donovan Mitchell's, he had an awesome, you know, season. I mean, not really an awesome season. He took out OKC to me, and that was a big factor. You know what I'm saying? That was a real big factor. I didn't see what Ben Simmons really, you know, accomplished. You know, to be considered, you know, I mean, besides his numbers, which is like, if you're gonna snub Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons is in the East as well, so you could say, you know, that's not really that impressive, you know, his all around numbers. So I feel like if you're gonna go with, you know, somebody in the East, you should have went with Jason Tatum, but I also understand the Donovan Mitchell argument. Definitely.
We finally back, and now we're gonna get into our guests, and this should be a goodie. I think this is something that has to be told, man. I've been around Edgar since I was probably like 10, 11 years old, and one of the things I get upset with him is just he never take a time to kind of appreciate all the accomplishments, you know, that he's overcome, you know, coming where we come from, and he's always, I think he's always like constantly like working, that he never just takes a step back and be like, damn, you know, like I really wasn't supposed to accomplish some of these things, and that's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to bring him on the show, is because of his journey, you know, his determination, you know, his hard work, being relentless, you know, in certain situations when people thought, you know, it was over. So enough of me, and we're gonna get into Sos, man, Sos. And my first question I want to start off with is, how was it, you know, growing up in Dyckman? Post, down post, you know.
Growing up in Dyckman was really what molded me and made me to the person I am today. Like, I'm so proud of like where I'm from. Like I carry it like as a badge of honor where I go. Everywhere I go, there's two things. Well, there's actually three things I always want people to know. Like, first and foremost is my love for God. I think I wear that on me. Like, you know, the hats that I make all for God, I always represent it on my posts. I want people to know how much I love and appreciate the love that God has showed me.
Mm-hmm.
Second is that I'm Dominican. I think that means so much to me, just because Dominicans are known to play baseball. Dominicans are known for other things other than basketball. Although we have two very good players, NBA All-Stars in the NBA that are Dominican, and a lot of players all over the world that are representing our flag. You know, Dominicans are really known for baseball. So wherever I go somewhere, whenever I travel, I let it be known that I'm Dominican. And the third one is that I'm from Dyckman. Dyckman has molded me and has made me into the man that I am today.
I was actually going to leave this question till we got further down, but
Yeah.
you actually brought something up, you know, being Dominican and playing basketball.
Mhm.
Now, I'm kind of going to jump ship a little bit. You went to Rice High School, you know, and you also played for Gauchos, you know,
Yeah.
and mostly Gauchos players, you know, were all black,
Yeah.
you know, so did you feel like a sense that you always had to, like, perform, you know, and represent every time you step on the court?
Yeah.
You know, you know,
For sure. I mean, I definitely feel that I had to perform and show who I was. I think growing up, I always had that chip on my shoulder. Just because when I started out, it's like, it's this Spanish kid from Uptown that's coming to play with the good players. The best players in the city all played for Gauchos, all played for Riverside, all played for the New York Panthers. So, and to be honest, the best players in the city were all African American. So whenever I got the opportunity to represent Riverside Church or represent the Gauchos, my brother always told me, because my brother actually, who's my role model, was a really good basketball player. He got cut from the Gauchos. And I remember that day he came home, he was mad, crying, just throwing things all over. And my brother, in my opinion, was a really good player. And he says, they cut me.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He was a hell of a player.
Yeah.
I love Eric.
Yeah.
He was a savage.
Right.
So you go ahead, man.
And my brother came home and he was just in his feelings, you can say. And he thought that they had cut him because he was Dominican. I'm Spanish. He wasn't supposed to be there. So when I was given that opportunity, I played with a chip on my shoulder. And I was ready to go at any and anybody in the city that I faced, because I wanted to be recognized as a good player, but I also wanted people to know that I'm Dominican. So, yeah, I always played with that chip on my shoulder.
What role? You mentioned your brother.
Yeah.
What role did he play, your older brother Eric, like in your life? You know, on the basketball court, you know, and off the court as well.
Yeah, my brother is the biggest role model in my life. Also, my mom. But I jokingly play with my brother and I call him my dad, because, you know, for those who don't know me, my dad been in and out of jail my whole life until he finally got deported. And my brother had to play that father role. My brother became the man of our household at 17 years old. Like, my brother played D2 basketball at Monroe College. He had an opportunity to be a walk-on at the University of Miami. He turned that down at 17, 18 years old to raise me. So when I see that man and when I spend time with that man, it's like the opportunities and the things that I have accomplished for me, are all because of him. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the position that I'm in today in life, and I'm still striving. I'm not this great player. I'm not this. I'm working.
You are a great player, and you're better than Jose Calderon. No, listen, I feel away. You're better than Jose Calderon. Matthew Dellavedova is getting $40 million.
That's a fact.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna get to
I'm
you.
sorry.
We're gonna get
I
to
feel
you.
away.
Hey, I got you, Jenny.
I'm sorry.
How you think I feel?
I'm sorry.
We spoke about this at work earlier.
sorry.
You know how I feel.
Matthew Dellavedova.
I cried. You know how I feel. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The opportunities that I have gotten today is because my brother decided to.
How you not know how many timeouts you? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yo, these are all great players y'all talking about.
No, they're not. Okay, all right. Let me drink water.
Water, beloved. Cool
Nah,
down.
the opportunities that I have gotten today, like being able to go to college and just having this right frame of mind as to always keep on working, is because of my brother. Because growing up, you know, the neighborhood that we come from and where we grow up, it's so easy to do the wrong thing. And me, I always liked having on a pair of Jordans. I always liked having my Rockaway t-shirts growing up, and sometimes my mom didn't have that to give it to me. That's just real talk. My mom didn't have it to give those things to me. So who knows what I would have done to get those things if my brother wasn't always with his foot up my ass. So I thank him every day for that, man.
You will be stealing it from me.
Facts. I did steal a jersey from God when we was in middle school and wore it the next day.
True.
My son Timberwolves jersey, I went in, he left his locker open. What you want me to do, G? I love you.
First off, we already had Cash. We already had Good Kills, man. Cash told us a little bit of the story of how you got into Rice. But how did that came about? You going into Rice?
Yeah, I mean.
And going to school in Harlem.
Yeah, just playing in Gauchos. So from the end of 5th grade all the way through 8th grade, me, Cash, and Kurt played together in every single tournament.
Curtis Kelly, who we had in
the previous episode.
Last episode, yeah.
Fact. Shout out to my brother.
How was that playing with Curtis and Kashif Pratt?
I mean, it was
on
young.
our first episode.
Yeah, we was young. I mean, in our first, like, heading into middle school, we were good. We were really good, actually, but we wasn't great in the nation. We were like running the city. We were winning every tournament in the city, but we didn't get really good in the nation until we got to high school. But so 8th grade comes and Cash and Kurt are going to Rice High School. My zone school is Kennedy.
So there was a chance you was going to John F. Kennedy?
There was a chance. I was really supposed to go to Kennedy.
We have mad bitches in that school.
I was supposed to go to Kennedy. So the end of 8th grade comes. I didn't do the summer program with Cash and Kurt because in my mind I was supposed to go to Kennedy. So a week before school starts, our coach at Gauchos, Paul, he says we might have a sponsor for you. So a sponsor is, for those who don't know, Rice was private, and I think it
private
cost
Catholic school.
Private Catholic school. That costed about $4 or $5 grand to go there. I didn't have a scholarship. I didn't have a sponsor, so there was no way my family was gonna be able to pay for that. So in my mind, I was going to Kennedy. So Cash tells me, "Yo, that sponsor you're gonna get that sponsor. Just come to school."
So wait, hold up. So you just popped up?
I just popped up in school. The first week of school, I was not enrolled. They used to call attendance.
I think Cash was telling us.
They used to call attendance. They never called my name. I used to just stay quiet.
So you was just a body in the classroom?
I was just a body at a high school. I wasn't registered. Nobody knew my name or nothing.
It's definitely illegal.
So a week goes by in school.
That's illegal.
And I can't forget this. Mr. Suarez, he was our social studies teacher. He's teaching class or whatever. And he stops, and he's like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." I'm like, "My name's Edgar." He's like, "What's your last name?" I'm like, "Sosa." So he's looking up at the list. Rice High School only had about 480 students. It's a small school. It's an all-boys school. So he goes through the whole list. He's like, "I don't see your name here." He's like, "Get out of my class." So I'm going to the counselor's office, man, and I'm just sitting there. They call our high school coach Mo Hicks, and I'm just crying my tears. I'm like, "Man, I gotta go to public school. I really want to play high school ball with my best friends. Like what's gonna happen to me now?" And by the grace of God, they were able to find a sponsor for me. And once they found a sponsor for me, they enrolled me into school, and I just became a student at Rice.
A real student.
A real student at Rice. Even though I was a Rice man for about a week and nobody knew, but then I became an official Rice man.
You was actually on the roster.
They actually broke me down on the roster. Bro.
So Cash been brokering deals since he was in the 9th grade.
Cash is the man, bro. Cash is the man, bro. I'm just gonna say that. Cash is the man.
I got a question.
Yeah.
We had Alan Ray on here. I don't know what episode that was, but shout out to Alan Ray.
Shout out to Alan Ray for sure.
I just want to know how you feel about him saying he didn't want to go to Rice and play with y'all. If you have any thoughts on that.
But just going to the school in general, because Alan Ray, he's a little older.
Yeah.
Well,
but I'm just saying, like he wanted to separate himself from that situation.
I mean, shout out to Alan Ray. Alan Ray is a great player and one of the greatest players to come out of New York City, in my opinion. But for me, growing up, I was in love with Andre Barrett. Andre Barrett wore 12 at Rice. That's the reason that I wore 12. So coming up, we used to go to Rice games, watch Andre Barrett, and I just fell in love with this dude. I wanted to be Andre Barrett, and they said, man, this dude is probably one of the best players in the country. Like, girls from all over the city are like in love with this dude. They come to the games just to watch him.
So that's what you want.
I'm like, yo, I want to.
You want that power.
I'm like, yo, I want that.
You want the Jones.
I want to be Andre Barrett. So
ever since ringing the bell at the game.
Ever since I saw Andre play, I fell in love with Rice. And honestly, I'm gonna be real. I didn't think that I was at a talent to play at Rice, just because all the great players that were coming up. But I knew that if I got that opportunity, I was gonna try to make the most of it, and that's what I did.
So why you enrolled with me and my man James Hayes though?
I mean, Cardinal Hayes. Shout out to Cardinal Hayes.
You knew James, and I met you in elementary school because of James.
Yeah.
Why you ain't fuck with us and go to Hayes with us?
Bro, cause
and keep it 100.
At that time,
I can't play with James.
At that time, I wanted to go to Rice. I'm not gonna front. I wanted to be part of the biggest movement. Yes, wanted to be part of the biggest movement in the city. And also, y'all probably had y'all sponsor situation or how y'all was gonna take care of y'all tuition. Actually, my man James was really supposed to go to Rice.
Really?
We wanted James to come to Rice.
Whoa,
Hold on, bro.
We'll save that for tomorrow.
We save that for tomorrow.
We'll save that for tomorrow.
To go to Rice.
Wait, hold on.
But let me break it down.
But James gonna leave
Let
me.
me break it down.
So that's what happened. He gonna leave me.
We wanted James to go to Rice. James is all about, and shout out to my brother, shout out to my best friend. James is all about setting his own path, setting his own lane.
And chilling with his man.
And he was also very tight with Gabi. So he decided to go that route, and man, he still got that school on the map. You know, they still open, and James is probably one of the best players. Not probably, he is one of the best players to ever come out that school. So I can't fault him for wanting to go to Cardinal Hayes, but we wanted you to be a Raider.
Wow. One, that's crazy because like I said, you know, I've been around Sosa and James since I've been a kid, and I actually never knew that. That would have been kind of lit. I ain't even. Another thing that people
I don't remember that game.
Another thing that people might not know is that in New York City, you was actually the #1 point guard. You feel me? And how I want to say, like, what pressure did you feel? Because I know there was a point in time when you was in high school and a lot of people were saying that in order for you to play Division I, you know, that you had to put on some weight. You know, they were saying, you know, that you was too small and that you wasn't going to be able to play PG, you know. But then you ended up, you know, working. And you ended up being, you know, the #1 point guard in New York City. So I want to know kind of like, what was your mental like? Because we see a lot of these young kids, you know, they just do a lot of things for the gram, and they're not like really putting in the work. And one of the things that I admire from you, one of the things that I take heed and I honor from you is your work ethic, you know. And that's one thing that I've been privileged, or I've been spoiled enough, you know, to see from you. So, what was your, like, what is your mental like? Like, do I have to always get better? Like, I can't rest. Like, what's your mentality like? You feel that everybody works hard?
Yeah. I mean, as a professional athlete, like, in order to get to that level, you have to put your time in. You know what I'm saying? I know you have some players who are just naturally gifted, who don't really have to put in as much time as others and are able to become professional. But I feel like everybody works hard. And for me, I think a lot of people, and I'm just being real, I think a lot of people glorify, oh, Sosa's a hard worker. Sosa puts in the pain. Sosa likes to get it in, which I do. I enjoy it. But this is my job, and this is what I feel that I have to do just to keep up, just to keep a job, just to continue to do what I have to do. I feel that, I even feel that the time that I put in is not enough, because for me, I'm not 6'7". Although I feel that I'm a good height for my position, I'm not 6'7". I don't have long arms. I don't jump out the gym.
Look at long fingers.
I don't have the quickest feet. So for me, instead of when Kevin be like, yo, smell your roses, like, look back at your accomplishments. For me, I'm looking like, yo, the things that I have to do in order to maintain and keep a job, because playing basketball is competitive. You see all the people that play basketball all around the world. And for me, I think that I have gotten to the position that I'm in, and it's not the greatest position. There's a lot of people in basketball that are doing a lot better than me. But I'm content with where I'm at in my career just because I know how hard I had to work in order to get there. And I'm really doing it through hard work. This is gonna sound crazy to y'all, and y'all gonna think, oh, this is cliche. I really think that there's nothing special about me, bro. Like, there's nothing special about me.
You feel like you're doing, but do you feel like you're doing a bare minimum for like, is that what you're trying to say? Like,
no.
Like you're doing a minimum for somebody your size or something like that? Like, that's what kind of what I'm getting.
No, I don't feel that I'm doing the minimum. I feel that my mentality is like, there's a lot of people that play my position that doing a lot better than me, like NBA players. Even when you talk about European competition, you're talking about EuroLeague and Euro Cup and all that stuff. And I'm thinking, like, I have to put in the amount of work that I need to put in order to stay at this level or get on a higher level. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. When people be like, yo, Sosa, you work hard, man. Sosa, you wake up 6 in the morning to run and to do yoga and to do this. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, bro.
But I think what Kev means when he's highlighting what you're doing is that a lot of the younger generation now, they don't understand that they need to work that hard just to get to a level that you're at. Not downplaying or anything like that, but just to say, like, I get what you're saying. You striving, you still striving, which is amazing. Yeah. Kev may be underrating that factor. Yeah. And that's what I think you're trying to say. Right. Is that Kev is underrating the fact that you're still striving, even though he feels like you should sit back and smell the roses. Right. But the fact that the thing that we're trying to highlight is that for this generation that now is just making videos and feeling like they're special because of that, they don't really understand the day-to-day work that you need to put in. And that's what we're trying to really highlight at the end of the day. And we really want you to talk about that, because I still feel like they don't understand. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear the stories that Kev tell me, and it's people don't do that stuff no more. People not waking up early. Like, people underestimate waking up early in the morning. Right. Like, when you tell somebody to do something before 8 o'clock, they'll look at you crazy nowadays. Yeah. And like just to piggyback on that, like, and I wake up early just because I like to get my day started. I like to get my workout in, and then I like to enjoy my family, enjoy the rest of my day. But somebody who works out at 6 a.m. Right there. That's a thing right there, because that's what I think that's a factor right there, because people don't understand. If you wake up early and you put that work in early, you get a rest of a day to enjoy. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, where I was going to go with it is just to say that just because I work out at the time I work out, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, doesn't mean that I can't do that same exact workout and work just as hard at 3 p.m. Exactly. At 3 p.m. The only thing that separates the 6 a.m. workout from the 3 p.m. workout is setting that alarm clock for 5:15 a.m. You have to have a certain amount of discipline to say, you know what? When that shit goes off at 5:15, as much as I want to stay in my bed, as much as it's the off season, as much as I'm not obligated to get up, I'm going to get my ass up and I'm going to grind. Because the average working class citizen every day wakes up at that time to put in that work. And I'm not sucking up, and I tell this to Kevin all the time, I tell this to my mom. Me and my mom have a great relationship. We talk a lot. Y'all the heroes, bro. Real talk. Y'all wake up every day, Monday through Friday, some of y'all Monday through Saturday, and y'all work a job every day from 9 to 5. My profession calls on me to work on my body and work on my mind and my skill for maximum 3 hours out the day. So who's working harder? Okay, they say, oh, the working class citizen, they sit behind a table, they sit behind a computer, or if you run a store like you run around hustling, getting your kicks and all that. but he's doing that from sun up to sundown.
True that.
My grind is I get up.
Shout out to Fame.
Shout out to Fame, man, while she real rap. I get up and I work out at 7:30, beloved. I'm done at 11, and the rest of the day I could kick my feet up.
I was just gonna say, like, kind of like piggybacking real quick what Shaq said. So I actually went down to Florida for a few days to So's crib, you know, where he lives now. And he literally got back from Italy on Tuesday. And I got there on Wednesday, and he was literally back in the gym. And when I said, yo, like, why you ain't take, you know, some time off, you know, to let your body heal and stuff like that, he was like, yo, I'm just coming off being a 5-time, you know, champion, you know, and I didn't win this year. You know, him saying that he didn't win this year and making him like get back in the gym, I just, people don't got that grind, you know, people don't got that mindset, and that's why I always say, you know, I've been spoiled coming up in the game of basketball because I've been privileged, you know, to be around some people that work extremely hard, you know. I've been around Sosa. I lived with James literally overseas, so I've been able like to see these guys work, and I just feel that a lot of these kids coming up is not really like putting up that time, man, and that work because like it's real, man. Like you also gotta understand, man. This was a kid that came from Dyckman, and Rick Pitino was actually like in the gym. I still remember going to St. Michael's gym. I forgot who he was playing, and I saw Rick Pitino there, you know, being very slick and greasy, you know,
Grease ball,
you know,
slick back hair,
you know, real slick,
He needed that, yo. That's the culture. He did that
so he was out there, you know, and just to see that, you know, I was a little shocked by it. I was a little shocked, you know, like I was like, damn, like this guy is a legend, and you know he's here, you know, watching shows. So to the young people, you know, I just want to say, you know, you gotta like really like work hard, you know. You gotta like shoot in the rain, you know. You gotta like shovel snow. I'm only saying this because that's what shit that we used to do.
I started.
Do you remember that time? I'm gonna jump real quick, and we're gonna go with Dyckman real quick, and then we're gonna jump into Louisville. I just want to say this because I know James is gonna get tight when I say this. James and Louis is gonna get tight when I say this, but I love him to death. I just want to talk about a moment in Dyckman when you was at another game and you took
with Gauchos.
You was playing with Gauchos, right?
I was on the team.
And you came to Dyckman, right?
He was losing.
And James, you was playing against James and Louis Guzman.
James Phil from Cardinal Hayes and Louis Guzman from Paramus Academy.
You feel me, Lou? You still
and Jay Gill from somewhere in the hood.
But it's still love on this side. So you was down at half. Y'all was getting smoked, right? Y'all was getting down 20, right? You popped up in the cab, you know, at halftime. Will, slide a little bit because I want to see James' face when I see this. All right, just slide a little bit. I want to see his face. All right, so then boom, you come out on halftime and you get in the game. What happens? I'm not even gonna say it. Go.
So what kind of defense we was playing first?
Oh, okay, all right. So James said, well, hold on, I got you. James said, defense, 2-3. What defense we was playing? It was a 2-3 defense. Okay. So what happens with the 2-3 defense, real quick, and then we're gonna go to Louisville and all that Rick Pitino shit and all that. But go ahead.
Nah, I be killing James about this whole time. No.
Get getting part 2 tomorrow. What?
Nigga paused it.
I'll be killing James about this situation all the time.
Oh yeah,
So what happened about this situation?
No, it's just crazy. It's just crazy that like
What
this
team
happened.
I was in before you start?
Dyckman, he was on my team.
Was on.
He was on my team.
Speak your shit, Sosa.
Nah, so it's just amazing that like this happened when we was like 15, and you know, James. Shout out to James. He just turned 30 2 days ago.
Shout out to Jay.
My best friend from 6th grade. My best friend from 6th grade. So, and this is like 15 years.
He officially joined the No
has
Wife
gone
Beater
by.
Club.
The No Wife Beater Club. Yeah, TikTok.
No, 15 years has gone by and we still talk about this. But nah, they was playing with Mookie's All Stars, and it was James, another one of my boys, Lou Goose, and Jonathan Gill, another one of my boys. And
what happened in that game? In that
so
half?
I got there at halftime for some reason. 'Cause I was playing another game in the city with Gauchos,
We was getting
and they was up
smacked.
20. But the crazy thing about it is like they hitting threes. They like when I walk in the park, they go into halftime like they bugging, they wilding. They hitting threes, they pumping their chest, they talking crazy. And I just got in the game, and it's crazy because my brother was there, and I never got the chance to really play in front of my brother because my brother always had to work. So
you felt you had to show out.
yeah, every time,
right there.
yeah, every time my brother was in the park, I felt like I had to.
You had to show out
Either I
on
was gonna
James.
have a.
Nah, I just gotta say that James had like 30 just in case.
Fact.
No, we're not talking about that. But keep going,
Yeah,
Talk
you know what I'm
about
saying? I
that.
had to show because my brother was there, and I just started scoring the ball, and I had 41.
So you had 41 and a half?
41 and a half.
And we took the chip that year.
Wait,
Wait a minute, time out.
So,
My
so
second
in 16 minutes, because it was 16 minutes, because it was juniors. So in 16 minutes, you had 41
Yeah, but
points.
I think it also was a little bit like, I wouldn't say intimidation, but like.
Nigga,
I shot-
intimidation? How the fuck is it 41
No, I'm talking
intimidation?
about my own team with Gabi because I used to tell him, yo, give me the ball every time, give me the ball. So although it was 20 minutes, like I had the ball literally
Every
those
time.
2 quarters.
Nigga,
every
it
single
was
time.
the buzzer and he pushed me so he could get a dunk at the end of the game.
Yeah, so I had the ball every single time, but yeah, I had 41.
So you have 41 at half.
Nigga,
In the
I
second
had
half.
points.
Yeah, 16 and 17. That's what it matters.
And you won the game. And you won the game. And you won the game on James. Won the game on James.
Nah, that's my brother.
I don't care that nigga's your brother. I love that nigga.
And I got the MVP over. Nah, that's for
Now
tomorrow.
you got the MVP, bro.
Now over somebody here, but that's for tomorrow.
My nigga, that's like old man, old
It
tournament.
doesn't matter. Nigga, that is my James. James,
Beloved,
that's my highlight.
Beloved, take it over. Beloved.
That's the highlight of my
That's
life. You
season
know
2.
that. James, you know that or not?
Beloved, go ahead, beloved.
That's for tomorrow.
So, Mr. Edgar Sosa, there's a lot of things I want to unpack.
For sure, let's do it.
Okay? So, during your journey talking about your training regimen, you compared it to the working class citizen where you feel like you have it easier than the person who has to wake up and do a 9 to 5.
Yeah, in my opinion, I feel that that's easier.
That shows a real deep level of humility that's lacking in today's generation.
Facts.
But I also gotta big you up because there's that term, I'm gonna put that pain in.
Facts.
Pushing your body past its limits. Where you're sore, maybe you're hurt, but you wanna keep going. That's not something that the average civilian can do, but you choose to do it anyway.
Right.
I had an outburst about 20 minutes ago. You know, I'm a grassroots basketball guy. Like, 4th graders are playing.
Yeah.
If I had to go to One Oak or go check out the 4th graders, I'm checking out the 4th graders. Because I just love grassroots basketball in its purest, rawest form. And I think everybody in the room will testify to this. There's only 450 spots in the NBA.
For sure.
Okay? A lot of these guys don't belong there. No, I'm gonna say it. I do.
In the NBA,
Speak, brother.
A lot.
Give what was your percent?
10%.
No, more.
Hell no.
More.
Yo, I'll say like 22%,
Okay.
bro.
25. Give it 25.
And then I'm gonna give y'all my take on it. Go ahead.
Okay, so Kev mentioned earlier you were at one point the #1 point guard in New York City. I'm a dial back a little bit. What was your recruitment process like coming out of Rice?
Yeah, well, I was an early commit. I committed.
Junior year?
I committed the first week of my junior year, so September of my junior year.
Okay.
So
Why? Why the fuck the Louisville?
So growing up, and shout out my big homie.
You just said he was coming to this game.
Yeah. Shout out my big homie Francisco Garcia.
You
He's
just
like,
FaceTimed him too, and he didn't even pick up.
La
I'm doing a
Leyenda.
podcast. I'm doing
That's my man.
Nah, but
With
like
the vegan.
he's like really like my mentor. He's someone that I look up to and someone that, you know, I see as like guidance and someone who's he's already passed what I'm trying to do.
So he walked the journey. So
I'm trying to walk the journey.
So you know who
So
Yeah, that's
So I wanted to be just like him growing up. So
Rockets.
in all phases of my life, I have someone that I loved and I wanted to become. In high school, it was Barrett. In college, it was Francisco Garcia. So seeing Francisco Garcia playing at Louisville, him being Dominican, him being from where I'm from, and him seeing everybody knowing that he was gonna get drafted, and him coming out of high school, he wasn't the greatest player. He was thin. He couldn't really do much, and just seeing how much he developed and how much Rick Pitino developed him, I wanted that.
Okay.
I wanted to follow in his footsteps, knowing that he was gonna be a Dominican in the NBA. I wanted to be the next Dominican to be in the NBA. So that was the reason when Louisville came knocking on my door.
It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, Rick Pitino literally came to my school. I didn't even know he was coming. My high school coach called me into the office, and I walked in and I saw Rick Pitino.
That's crazy.
And when I saw Rick Pitino and sometimes I still like, bro, like I played 4 years for Rick Pitino, like.
But that first time.
Although like he has gone through some stuff in this past year.
How
like,
was that?
As far as when I first saw him the first time, it was like seeing like a fake person, bro. It's like I was starstruck.
No. The crazy part, it's funny he said that because James, I don't know if you remember when we saw him in the parking lot when we was going to the gym. I ain't go front when he pulled up in the Benz silver. I was a little starstruck, like
that's
this motherfucker Rick Pitino.
Nigga look like a Barbie doll.
Yo, son, like this nigga look iconic. Like this nigga had a glow to him. This nigga was flowing type shit.
He had an aura
around him. Yeah, that's
shit,
a
bro.
fact.
It was weird.
Nigga said it was some Prince shit.
Prince with Purple Rain.
Shit was weird.
So when Rick Pitino came to my school and he was just like, I want to offer you a scholarship to come to my school. I remember that weekend I was supposed to go visit UConn, and the weekend after that I was supposed to go visit St. John's.
How many offers did you have?
I have 14 offers.
Well, give me the top 5 that you consider.
Yeah.
The top 5 that I considered was NC State, Syracuse, UConn,
Orange
Miami, and Louisville.
Okay.
Hurricane.
But
So yeah.
you said St. John's.
So
he
when-
didn't even consider that.
So when Rick Pitino came to my school, I told my high school coach to cancel those other visits, and I committed that night. That day, I thought Louisville was in St. Louis. Louisville was in Kentucky.
Well, hold on. Wait. I got you right now.
That's how much-
So when you committed to the school,
I had never been there before.
Nigga didn't know where.
I didn't know where Louisville was. I just knew that I was on my way to Louisville, and I was gonna play for Rick Pitino. I didn't know where it was.
So this nigga took a plane ticket.
I didn't know where it was. I was 16,
We gotta
17.
do a shot to that.
I think we might have to drink on that. You just pulled up?
I don't give a fuck.
No.
Yeah.
That shows the power of influence.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were so enamored with the journey of Francisco Garcia, you were willing to jump out the window and go to Louisville, where it was.
Not knowing where it was.
So
I thought the shit was in St. Louis. Nigga thought he was gonna be with Nelly. Nigga thought he was gonna
I'm going down, baby.
Nigga thought he was gonna be like me and shit.
Yo, nigga said what enamel means.
So you commit to Louisville, right?
Yeah.
The first month of your junior year.
Yeah.
What is the rest of your high school career like?
The rest of my high school career is like now. I mean, I had a target on my back in New York City, but now when I go to AAU tournaments, I really got a target on my back because everybody's like, you know, the 2000 class. Let me be clear, that joint is loaded.
2002.
Right.
No, 2006 high school class.
2006.
It's loaded. We talking about we have
Yeah, I was looking at
arguably.
that.
Shout some of them out. Shout some of them out.
Shout out Kevin Durant.
All right.
No, Kevin Love was 07.
07, yeah, we came with West.
Well, nah, some of the low people who don't really get shouted out.
Ty Lawson, point guard, went to
okay.
North Carolina. Sharon Collins, point guard, went to Kansas. DJ Augustine, who's still in the
Texas.
NBA, went to Texas. We got the guy that I think he went to jail for. He got in that gun trouble with Gilbert Arenas.
All right.
The Atlanta guy played with Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Creighton.
Javaris Crittenton. We have Brandon Wright, who's still in the league. It was just loaded. It was just loaded from top to bottom. So when I committed early, it's kind of like it put me kind of on that national scene, and now all of a sudden I have a target on my back.
Right.
I wanted to ask you, Rick Pitino gave you the bag?
Nah.
Rick Pitino ain't give you no bag because it's a lot of shit. There was no strippers still on. No strippers.
Look at this. That happened. For real. Like I graduated 2010.
Oh, that's what you're gonna do.
I graduated 2010, and all that started in 2012. I was 2 years removed.
So when you was being recruited by Louisville, and when you was at Louisville, there was no strippers there.
Never.
And no money and all that other shit.
Never.
All right, so
Gabby, go.
I got something.
Don't hurt yourself.
When I went to the Louisville versus Seton Hall game in Jersey, I can't even talk about that. Next question for her.
Okay, so
I can't even talk about that.
Go ahead.
So you had a target on your back. You slay everybody.
Yeah. Who was in those AAU tournaments that was coming at you? Maybe.
That shit gonna fuck a lot of shit up. I can't even say that.
I mean, Levance was playing in the age group older than me. I mean, Sharon Collins to this day, that's my man. We had battles. You know, the DC Blue Devils had Ty Lawson and Kevin Durant. You know, we battled a lot. We played the Dallas All-Stars. I think they had Brandon Wright and some other guards. I mean, Cash could probably name these guys more than I can. But the 06 class was loaded, and when we used to go away to these AAU trips to Houston, to Dallas, to Florida, to New Orleans, we really had to get it on to beat them. You had to come with your game.
Yeah, get your grind on, man.
So now you at Louisville, man, and one of the things that I kind of like get upset with people is that they always come to me and they'll say,
you should have left his first year.
Yeah.
Well, one is he should have left his first year after, Texas A&M, after he busted AC Law's ass, but that's a different story. What I was trying to go with was, how was kind of like your mental aspect, being coached with Rick Pitino, because I don't know if everybody knows, he plays a lot of like mind games.
Yeah.
So how was it from you? You're coming from New York City, you're coming from Dyckman, and then you're going to the countryside of Louisville, and and you got this guy like fucking coming with your mental in a sense, with your confidence. How did you feel? Because I know that played along with you hitting that shot against Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because they was almost gonna send your ass home.
Facts.
I remember
Nigga said he was sending you home.
That's a
They
fact.
was gonna send his ass home. He missed that shot. That nigga would have been here.
That's a fact.
At Fame.
I mean,
go ahead.
as far as like my troubles,
Jennings.
As far as like my troubles and
got
like
me spot, damn.
That's stupid. Not like the mind games, like all started. I think like my sophomore year. I think my freshman year was a good year for me because the player who I was competing with at the time, Andre McGee, he got hurt in September.
Okay.
He got hurt in September and he had to get knee surgery, so Rick Pitino had no choice but to play me. I was a freshman. I was coming in. Our other point guard, shout out Brad Giannini, who's actually doing well for himself.
Who?
Brad Giannini.
I don't remember that.
He was a senior. He was a senior my freshman year, and it was just me and him at the point guard. Andre McGee was injured, so I had to play. And me just coming from where I come from, having that chip on my shoulder. First of all, when I committed to Louisville, a lot of people in my hood who saw me grow up coming up, I'm not gonna mention any names, said that I'm not gonna play.
You can mention names if you want.
I ain't gonna put nobody out there like that, but
Now you sure? Now one?
We could do that.
One of them is a very influential person in our community, and I will never do him like that.
But you don't gotta do it in a negative way.
No.
Let him tell his story.
Tell him story. Tell him speak your shit.
Yeah.
Speak your shit. Go ahead.
So people in our community who saw me grow up as a child, they said that because I was a little wired when I was little, I had a little temper, and at drop of a dime I was ready for whatever, you know what I mean? So they said I wouldn't make it past summer school. They say he's not gonna make it past summer school. Yeah, he's gonna get kicked out before summer school is even over because he's that wild. You know what I'm saying? So
Look at you got a wild side though.
I mean, used to, man. I'm an old man now, but
Niggas are old man.
but facts. But nah, I used to be wild. I was somewhat disrespectful. I didn't respect my elders. I was wild, bro. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people thought that I wasn't gonna make it playing for Rick Pitino. So I kind of used that to prove people wrong. I always wanted to prove people wrong who thought less of me growing up. So when I got that opportunity, I took off and I was playing a lot of minutes. You know, I was learning a lot. You know, I was lifting a college program, so my body was developing a little bit. So I don't know. I balled out my freshman year, and I had a lot of success.
So
had a ball at the Eastern Conference at the Big East Championship.
Nigga said Eastern Conference. Yo, but
That's when you know a nigga litty.
So and I'm gonna let everybody else bounce around from this.
Yeah.
So you was talking about your freshman year.
Yeah.
During your freshman year, you did something that a lot of people may not know. During the NCAA tournament, you was actually second in scoring behind Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Damn.
Now,
Gangster position.
Now, you play against Texas A&M. You working. I still remember I was at Hoovie's crib. Shout out to Hoovie. You know, we was watching the game. And you working.
Yeah.
You working. And you hitting free throws. Bang, hitting free throws. I remember that game. James, get off your phone, James. So you out there doing your thing. And you missed 2 crucial free throws.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you had a hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
But you missed 2 crucial free throws. Now, my question is, why against Texas A&M AC Law, you cooked them?
Yeah.
Why didn't you enter the draft after that year that you had?
And
I want the honest.
Hold on. Can you give us some insight on those free throws?
On the free throws? Okay, all right. So we can go to the free throws. We're gonna go to the free throws, and then we're gonna go into why you didn't enter the draft.
Yeah,
so go ahead.
I mean, the all Big East. I mean, I was first team freshman all Big East when the Big East was loaded. You talking about
Big East wasn't like how the Big East is now. Let's get this right.
And the year prior to that, Louisville had not even made the tournament. And people were saying, I mean, whether it be true or not, people were saying that we're going back to the tournament because this kid Sosa's putting on. Like, this kid Sosa's putting on for Louisville. So I just think that just based off that and based off, you know, what I did, I think if I would have entered the draft they would have picked me just off potential. He's a freshman.
Lottery pick.
Off potential, they would have picked me. And then if if I didn't get drafted, I feel like I was young enough where somebody would have gave me a chance to come, and they would have been like, yo, give this kid a year just because he's young and he just did what he did. And I feel that through my work ethic and the way I grind, I feel that I could have worked hard enough to at least stay in the league. Now that was 10 years ago, maybe more than that now. I don't know if today I would still be in the league because I'm just being real, but I feel that I would at least had a chance to touch an NBA court knowing then what I know now.
Yeah.
We was talking about, you know, you regaining, you know, your confidence, you know, and being able, you know, to be a 5-time, you know, champ, 6-time, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Champ, you know, despite everything that you had to overcome. So one of the things that I also wanted to ask you, man, is do you still have aspiration of playing in the NBA?
I don't. I mean, in my younger years of when I started going overseas, my goal was like, yo, I'm about to try to kill overseas. I'm going to try to kill overseas and hopefully get an opportunity to come back. But I think at this point in my life, being 30, you have to accept reality and understand that basketball is really a young man's game.
And the overseas bread ain't that bad.
It's not. But the NBA, I think, is a young man's game. And although, let's say I go to a NBA camp or a tryout, let's say, and I'm matched up with a kid that's 22, because it's happened to me. It happened to me with the Pistons. I'll go into a training camp or just a personal workout for an hour with the player, let's say, who's just fresh out of college. and let's say I outwork him, I outperform him and everything.
They're taking the younger.
They're gonna take the young kid just based off potential,
Upside.
thinking that this guy's 30, he's already at his prime, or he's closer to the end than he is to the beginning. So the NBA is a young man's game, and I think James can attest to this. That after you get to a certain age, you kind of just treat this as a job, and you understand what reality is, and you just. Not that you get comfortable, but you understand what the situation is, and you just try to play basketball as long as you can.
I wanted to ask you something. So, we spoke about this off camera.
Yeah.
I respect the fact that at your age, you're treating this as a profession, and you understand the dynamics and the politics behind roster spots.
Right.
But if an NBA team was to give you an opportunity, would you be open to the opportunity?
Oh, without a doubt. That's something that I don't turn down. And the reason why I would take it is the NBA.
Okay.
You know, one of my best friends, shout out Kimber Walker, he plays in the NBA. And just watching him grow, he played also on my high school team. Just watching him grow and watching the man that he's become playing in the NBA, that's an amazing lifestyle. But it also comes with a lot. But I think for me that the reason why I would love to play in the NBA, not because of the NBA. It's just to be in the States.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you go overseas, you're gone from August to May. Even August to the end of June if you make it to the championship. And you miss things. You miss Christmas.
Family.
You miss Thanksgiving. Like, I miss all my boys' accomplishments. Every year that I come back from overseas, like, my mom is a year older. My brother's a year older. And yeah, they go to visit, but you get to see them throughout the year. 10 days.
Yeah.
When they come to visit, and then they got to come back. So when I hear NBA players complain about being traded and how they're so heartbroken, I understand, but a part of me is like, bro, like
at least you're in the States.
At least you're in the States, you get to see your family. Me since in my 7 years of going overseas, I've done 1-year deals. Now my brother James, he's done 2-year deals where he gets to stay in the same city.
Big time.
For 2 years, more than that sometimes. For me, I do 1 year. So every year, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who's going to be my teammates. I have to adjust to different culture, to the language.
Question, how many different countries?
So I've played...
Iran.
I've played in Italy. And these
the
are all...
was hard.
Yeah, I didn't split. There's a couple places where I didn't play the whole season. But we're just going to talk about like the places I've played. So I played in Italy. I played in Spain. I played in Germany. I played in Iran. I played in Lebanon.
DR, Puerto Rico.
DR, Puerto Rico.
Do you play Israel?
I played in Israel. So what's that? That's 9 countries. So
France.
and now I'm going to France. I played in Australia, New Zealand. So now this year I'm going to somewhere new, somewhere I haven't been. I've been there to play games, but not to live. Which
Do you
is
know
France.
where you're going already?
Yes. Yeah. So next year I'm playing for Gravelines Donquero, is a team that's two hours away from Paris.
Okay.
So that's where I will be living from August to May.
I will say...
French, you speak no French though.
Saba.
That's the only shit you know the FDA.
I'll say as a 30-year-old man, to have played and traveled to all these countries, you're very cultured.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a blessing in that also.
Yeah, there's a blessing and a downside in everything. I'm sure, beloved, with what you do, what Kev does, Shaq, Gabi, and everything that we do in life, there's a good and a bad. And so for me, being a professional basketball player, it feels good to have $1 in my pocket. It feels good that if I want to go eat a steak, I can eat a steak. If I want to buy a T-shirt, I can buy a T-shirt. But what comes with that, you miss a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? You miss your family.
Time is our only currency.
Time's the only one. So there's a give and a take with everything. Everything's a give and a take.
Before we wrap this up, man, I wanted to ask you about something that I know it means a lot to you. You know, you had the injury. You know, you was overseas. You put in the work, and then you was able to buy your mother. You was able to buy your mother a house in Florida. So I just wanted to know how was that accomplishment for you? Like how did you feel, you know, doing that for you? Because I still remember the time when Marisa used to come to the park and you're like, hey, God, you know, it's time for you to come to the crib, you know. So how did you feel, you know, being able to, you know, to purchase. You
Man, that was probably the biggest thing of my life, and that's probably will be my biggest compliment, the biggest accomplishment of my life, just because my mother is my hero. When I tell you about this lady's schedule for about 12 to 15 years, y'all may not understand.
No, the immigrant struggle is real.
So my mother,
you put it out there.
So my mother worked in a bakery on Dyckman, Kenny's Bakery. Shout out Kenny's Bakery. My mother worked there for about 12 to 15 years, and I'm just gonna tell you her schedule. So my mom used to wake up every day. My mom worked every day except Fridays, but then I'm gonna tell you what she did on Fridays.
Right.
My mother used to wake up at 4 a.m. Wake up at 4 a.m. and work in the bakery from 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. She used to come home at 3 p.m. and cook for my brothers, clean, do laundry, whatever she had to do from 3 to 6, and then at 6 she'll go back to the bakery till closing at 11. When she came home at 11, she had to do what she had to do, sleep a couple hours just to wake up at 4 to do the same thing every day. Now Fridays was her days off. On Fridays, she used to get on a bus from 7 to 8 hours and go visit my brother and my dad in jail. Did that for about 15 years, and as a youngin', you appreciate your mom for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of, at a young age, I wasn't the best player in my hood. Shout out Steven Polanco. Steven Polanco was real.
No fear.
No fear. Steven Polanco was that dude. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of looked up to him growing up. Steven Polanco was that guy. So just growing up, just seeing the way that my mom raised me, I just knew that I had to do something beautiful for her. And she will always watch the Kardashian show, my mom. She'll be like, oh, one day I want to live like a Kardashian. One day I want to be, one day I know, she's like, I know one day I'm going to live like a Kardashian. I'm going to hit the lottery and one day I'm going to live like a Kardashian. And, you know, when I came back from my injury, I just started stacking my coins, and I told the mom, I said, yo, we're moving to Florida. Now, when we moved to Florida 2 years ago, going on July 20th, it'll be 2 years that I've been living in Florida. We didn't know nobody. We still know a little bit of people. We don't know much. And then I was talking to this realtor all year, picking out houses.
Talk about that process.
Yeah, so I was in Iran, so I'm not there to physically see the house. So I'm telling him, yeah, I want something extravagant. Like, this is my budget. I want something with high ceilings. I want a pool. I want a big kitchen. My mom loves to cook. I want to do it nice for her. So all years, I'm literally emailing this dude all year to the point where he's like, bro, I'm on vacation. Like, give me. I'm like, bro, I have to get this done. I have to do this. So God willing, we just got on the plane. We had about 5-6 houses to choose from, and it was all a surprise to her. And then when we pulled up to Florida, I was like, Mom, this is for you. She started crying and all that, and it was a beautiful feeling, man. It made me feel like a man for real.
That's what's up. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day,
it don't get no better than that to just end it right there.
It just really don't get no better than that. You know,
hey now.
I always feel that yeah, man, I always feel that Sosa, he's a person that really don't share his journey or let a lot of people know what's going on with him. So I just feel like,
wait, hold on. But aside from your mom, what you bought yourself?
I haven't bought
What's
myself.
the most extravagant thing you bought yourself?
Pair of shoes, bro. I mean,
niggas have pair of shoes.
You said shoes. So you being a ball player,
yeah,
you're probably big into sneaker culture.
yeah.
What is your best favorite brand? What is your favorite pair kicks the ball in?
what are you doing?
So let me just say this loud and clear that Drew is in the building.
Okay, Drew.
The sneaker man himself. So shout out to Fame NYC.
So we not gonna talk about them chains, right? You ain't buying nothing, son, but we ain't gonna talk about them chains. I
love
shout out to
sneakers.
James for the shout out.
I'm a sneakerhead, and the best shoe. Obviously, you can't ball in this shoe, but the best shoe for me of all time is the Jordan 4.
Okay.
I try to get as many pair of those as I can.
Okay.
Shout out to Drew. I need them Travis Scotts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, James, I need them Travis Scotts, bro. But no, like I'm real big into. I'm real big into sneaker culture, and Jordan 4 by far is the. If God came down and was like, yo, Edgar, you can only have one shoe that you have to wear for the rest of your life, it would be the Bread Jordan 4s.
Bread Jordan 4.
Yeah.
For me, it'll be the black and white patent leathers.
That's nice, but Gabi, we don't care about what you like to wear. Oh, and that's it, man. Episode.
Hold on. Hey, before we end,
hold on.
episode 11. Before we end, I just want to say that what you guys are doing in the community, bro. Like,
Get this on camera, James.
nah, what you guys are doing in the community, bro. Like, I respect it, and I know that one day that you guys are gonna be big. I know that you guys are big already, but like, what you guys are doing is appreciated, man. And I was just overseas. I watched every single episode from beginning to end. And what you guys are doing is positive, man. And I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come on y'all show.
Facts.
Thank you,
man.
Thanks for
and I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
And that's it. Episode 11.
11.
Episode 7. We back here tomorrow. In our conversation with a bunch of nobody. Shout out to my man Drew for walking by the goddamn camera when it was still recording. And we done.